Hello and welcome to Pendulum Talks. Today we are joined by a very special guest who will be taking the stage at Pendulum Summit 2023 on January 25th and 26th at the Convention Centre Dublin. This transformational teacher, once homeless, destitute, and without hope, is now one of the world's most renowned spiritual teachers and a key contributor to The Secret. From his extensive life experiences and learnings, he has become an expert on such topics as the law of attraction, self-empowerment and fulfillment, emotional resilience, and conscious leadership. He is the author of over 75 books. Joining me today from the colorful Austin, Texas, please welcome global well-being guru, star of The Secret, Dr. Joe Vitale. Hello, Dr. Joe. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very happy to be here. I've been longing to talk to you, and I can't wait to come to Ireland.
Fantastic. Well, we can't wait to welcome you in Dublin in January. We're very excited about it. And let's just dive straight in. We'll give our delegates a bit of a taster of what to expect in January. So okay. I suppose we should maybe start at the beginning, because some people may have heard of you and The Secret and the law of attraction. But for those who have not, I suppose we'd have to ask you, how did you start into this space?
I got into self-help when I was a teenager because I needed help. And I was looking for happiness. I was looking for health. I was looking for well-being. I was looking for peace. I was searching, like many spiritual people were doing. But I started very, very young. And so I just jumped into metaphysics when I was 16 years old, jumped into philosophy, psychology, the whole self-help movement, and all the success literature of that time. And I really haven't stopped. I still read, I still listen, I still attend, I still apply it all to me. And then by extension, I turn around and share it to anybody who will listen. So I started because I wanted help.
Fantastic. And actually on that, you've written over 75 books. I mean, my goodness, that is some feat. Do you have a favorite one?
Well, that's like asking a parent which one of their children is their favorite.
True.
You know, I love them all, but I can tell you what some people tell me. Mm-hmm. My book, Zero Limits, which was a book that introduced a Hawaiian healing system to the world, that book is beloved. That book is changing lives. That book travels around the world and influences people. And it's one of the few of my own books that I've reread myself because I so love the story. So Zero Limits is definitely one of the ones I would say are favorites out there in the world. My book, The Attractor Factor, that book told people about the law of attraction. It told them how to create a new reality by working on the inside of them, changing that, and then seeing the outer world represent the change. And it was that book, The Attractor Factor, that got me invited to be in what became a historic movie, The Secret. It was because of The Attractor Factor. And then I would say a third book, if I can have three to pick here, it is the book I wrote about P.T. Barnum. There's a customer born every minute. Anybody who's in business today knows that they have competition. And what we need to realize is, how do you stand out from the competition? Well, there was a man in the 1800s, P.T. Barnum, who stood out from everybody because he knew how to get attention. He knew publicity, he knew advertising. I studied him. I found his 10 methods for success that we can use today. And I wrote this book called There's a Customer Born Every Minute. And so the business audience really seems to love that book, and I'm very proud of it. The self-help community really loves The Attractor Factor, and the spiritual ready for the next step crowd really likes the book Zero Limits. So 3 out of 75, that's pretty good.
Wow, amazing. And you just mentioned there about the success factor. I've often heard you mention before that actually, you know, in order to be successful, you have to have a success mindset. Can you explain the success mindset to us?
Yeah, it's more than what most people think. Most people think the success mindset is just thinking successfully. You're thinking worthy thoughts, you're thinking goal-oriented thoughts, you're thinking thoughts that are of a positive and uplifting nature. And that's part of it. But here's where people make the mistake. We have a conscious mind and we have the subconscious / unconscious. We have the collective unconscious, which unifies all of us. And in my experience, I have found that you have to have all parts of your mind in alignment in order for you to have success. So a success mindset is just not what you're consciously thinking. That's the tip of the iceberg. It's also aligning the subconscious, the unconscious, the collective unconscious, so you're all going in the same direction. So the success mindset for me is this integrated way of being. Your body, your mind, your spirit all go in the same direction. So that's what I think is one of my contributions to the success movement. Is goal setting is fine, affirmations are fine, but you have to go deeper than that if you actually want results, and if you want the results in an accelerated way. Because once you're in alignment, stand back, heaven and earth move, and you start achieving and attracting the very things you want at an unbelievable rate of speed.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Yes. And you actually have almost 50 years of experience studying about your inner power and how to tap into that. Can you explain to us, is an inner power, is it something you have, or can we create it? Can we create that for ourselves?
That's a great question. It's something you already have, but you have to discover it and develop it. Oh. It's a little bit like asking somebody, do you have a muscle? You definitely have muscles, they're in your body, but if you've been using them or not is going to tell you whether they are actually strong or not. So if somebody has not been to the gym for a very long time, they definitely have bicep muscles, but they're not strong. When they go into the gym and they start doing bicep curls or some other exercises focused on the forearms, they'll see that it starts to develop. So it was there all along. But somebody had to point it out, and somebody had to show you what to do with it. And then you had to do the exercises, and then behold, you're Hercules, because now you have the biceps you can show off. And it's the same thing with your inner power. It's already there. The vast majority of the world does not know they have the inner power. The vast majority of the world respond to life's events as victims. They just think the world's out to get them. And believe me, I thought that when I was homeless. I was homeless in the 1970s. I went through poverty for about 10 years in the 1980s. Most of that time, I just felt like I was powerless. I didn't have the skill. I didn't have the inner power, but I was wrong. The inner power, the inner muscle was there all along. I needed to find it, have somebody show it to me, have somebody explain the exercises to me, then do them. And then over time, you got to remember, I was doing this by myself back in the 70s and 80s. There was no internet back then. And coaching, the only coaching we had was Little League and baseball and football coaches. We didn't have personal development coaches, not in a noticeable way. So I was doing all that on my own. And what I discovered is, the power is there. It's in every single one of us. It's a gift from God. It's a gift from the divine, from the universe, whatever you want to call it. But we need to recognize it and then develop it. And then, behold, because we can start to create record-breaking events and results and even miracles.
And do you think that somebody's belief systems are intertwined with this as well? And can they be changed?
Oh, the belief systems are not only intertwined, they're tied in knots. The belief systems are what is driving each one of us. It's the software of our mind. And one of the things I discovered a long time ago, decades ago, is that when you change your beliefs, you get a different reality. You actually change your universe. You change everything around you, because what we're seeing and what we're getting, what we are achieving or not achieving, is entirely based on our beliefs. Again, most of us don't know what our beliefs are because we're living from them. The beliefs are already in our mind. We downloaded them from family, from friends, from the culture, from the religion, from the government, from all kinds of sources. And then we reach an age like today, and we look around and go, how come I can't achieve what I want? It's not your fault. It's the beliefs that you inherited and were wired into your mind over time. Now, when somebody points out what the beliefs are and says you are living from a belief-driven universe, you have the opportunity to change your beliefs. When you change your beliefs, all the world changes. I've been saying for quite a while that we live in an optical illusion. We live in an optical illusion. What you see is based on what you believe, but your beliefs are subconscious. And so when you look out into the world, you just think this is reality. This is the way it is. No, it's your version of reality. You are seeing it through the goggles, for the glasses of your belief system. And your belief system can be found and it can be changed. And that's one of the things that I'm bringing to the world, helping them see a whole different life. You can see abundance, you can see scarcity, you can find evidence for abundance, you can find evidence for scarcity. Which one's true? They're both true. You get to live from the one you choose. You get to live from the one you believe in, and that belief is a choice.
Wow. Well, I'm getting very excited about your coming to Ireland in January. And actually, when you do come to Dublin in January, you're actually going to do 2 presentations, one on each day. Can you explain to us some of the topics you'll be discussing at that?
Well, I'm asked to talk about 2 things primarily. This is what most people come to me for. With as many books as I've written, I can talk about 75 different topics. But generally, people come to me for 2 things. One is the missing secret to the law of attraction. A lot of people have read books on the law of attraction, maybe even mine. They saw the movie The Secret. They loved it, tried it. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. So they have questions. And what I discovered is that there is a missing secret to the secret. I call it the missing secret to the law of attraction. This is what I think is my biggest contribution to the success literature of history, is that people didn't know, or if they did, they didn't talk about it, that there is a missing secret. And the missing secret to the law of attraction is essentially this: you can consciously declare anything you like, and you will tend to attract it in your life if there are no counter intentions in your subconscious and unconscious mind. A brief example, and a very simple one, is somebody sitting there and says, well, I want to increase my sales. I want my business to skyrocket. I want more money in my life. Those are all great intentions. They're worthy intentions. They're ideal intentions. They're healthy intentions. But if in their subconscious mind they think, that'll never happen. The times COVID pandemic has ruined the economic system. Or they think, I'm not worthy. I've already hit my limit. I can't do any better than what I'm doing. Or they might think money's bad. Money corrupts. Money can ruin me. And so they inadvertently self-sabotage themselves. The missing secret is you have to get clear of the limiting hidden beliefs in you. Once you do, then you can have, do, or be the very stated intention you've declared. But you got to get clear first. That's the very first subject most people ask me about. And if Ireland likes, I will reveal the missing secret to the law of attraction and getting the results you want at an accelerated rate as one of my presentations. The other topic that most people come to me for is the one that I wrote Zero Limits about. And that's the Hawaiian healing system called Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono has shaken the earth because the power it has to help you get clear of limiting beliefs, negative beliefs, the lids that are on your own potential and possibility can be removed with this really ridiculously simple Hawaiian system. And the stories around it are mind-boggling, miraculous. When I tell stories about Ho'oponopono, people are in tears. They are in awe when I explain how to use this in business, in relationships, in health, finances, and virtually anything you can name. People's jaws drop because now they realize this simple little technique can transform anybody and everybody, virtually no matter what's going on in their lives. So the second thing I talk about is zero limits, which is Ho'oponopono. I actually have my own TV show these days. I've been doing it for almost a year, and it's called Zero Limits Living. That's really the essence of the second presentation I can give if Ireland would like me to. How to have a zero limits life.
Okay, well, fantastic. I think everyone in Ireland will want that. Sign us
Good.
up. Sign us up. Yeah.
All right.
Well, finally, before you go, Dr. Joe, just one final piece of advice, I suppose. If you could give our delegates a piece of advice or one action point that they should commit to between now and January when they see you in person, what would that be?
Well, first of all, sign up. Go ahead and sign up, because here's the thing most people don't realize when they sign up for an event. The transformation that will come from the event begins the day you sign up, because you've made a declaration. You've signed something, you paid for something, you put a deposit down, you put your name down. You tell your body and mind, I'm going to transform. And the subconscious locks onto that, and it begins to transform you the day you sign up. By the time you get to the event, you're already partially, if not completely, transformed, because the mind is looking for all the evidence of change, and it starts pulling it out of everyday life experience as well as the cosmos. So I would say the very first thing is just go ahead and sign up, take a leap of faith, act on what you feel right now. If they've been watching me this long, they would know that, well, they should be to the event. And I'm speaking twice, which is pretty rare to have me do back-to-back presentations like that. But you guys are good negotiators, and here I am. And that would be the first thing, is sign up. The second thing is start declaring intentions. Not just for the week, not just for the year, not just goals, not just for the annual income, but I mean every hour. Every hour. The next call you're going to make before you get on it, what's your intention for the call? What do you want it to do? What do you want to have, do, or be as a result of being on this call? When you wake up in the morning, set intentions for your day. There's two reasons why this works. One is you are telling your brain, here's my target. Here's what I want. And the brain will activate the reticular activating system and start you going in the direction of fulfilling your intention. If you don't have an intention, you just kind of bounce off whatever happens in life. But with an intention, you stack the deck in your favor. So state an intention, and the first thing that happens is you activate the brain. The second thing is you activate what I'll call the great something, what Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich called infinite intelligence. We're connected to a bigger mind. When we declare our intention, we're telling the bigger mind, this is what we want, and it will help manifest it as well. So there's real magic and practical reality that takes place when you declare what you want. And it all begins with signing up for the event.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. I'm going to sign up. I'll definitely sign up. Fantastic. Well, look, thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Joe. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I can't wait to meet you myself in Dublin. Take care.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you.